What's good, YouTube? Ooh, look at this lighting. Look at this. I love the way this light looks on my skin. You know, I got the ambiance.
This is I have bougie lights in my house.
The ambiance got me up here looking extra crispy. But anyways, I'm dropping this video today to speak on freight brokering, cold calling specifically.
You doing a video again?
Hey, shh. Tell all my secrets. So I'm dropping this video to speak on cold calling. A lot of people always ask me about it. They ask me what it is. Well, they've been asking me to explain it and the best way to get customers. And to be honest with you, it all goes off of the gift of the gab. You gotta be able to talk, and you can't be afraid of rejection, because when it comes to cold calling, you are going to get rejected left and right. When you first start out, you're gonna get a lot of no's before you get yeses, and you gotta basically just be like, you gotta be ready for the rejection. You know, I take every single call that I do as basically practice for the next call. And you know, I critique myself. I use my old lady right here to she's my guinea pig when it comes to, you know, me. We'll do like mock calls on customers and stuff like that. And and we basically you know, we just practice. We practice with each other, calling, acting like we're customers, and you know, just critiquing each other. And I mean, it's been paying off pretty well, you know. You're probably gonna, when you first start off, you're gonna make a whole lot of calls a day. I mean, you might make 50 calls in one day and get maybe one yes. Or you might go a day where you do 50 calls and get no replies, no answers, no nothing, a bunch of no's. I mean, you can't let it you can't let it discourage you. You just gotta keep on pushing. And the next day, try it again. And then you might send out 100 emails and not get no responses. Or you might get, you know, them shippers that are assholes, and they'll respond back like, the hell is this, spam? Or, you know, give you a crazy response. But you can't let it get you down. The way I see it and the way I look at it is like, I look at it like hollering at a woman. You know, you see 10 women in a room, you go to holler at least one of them, you might get rejected by all of them. But at the end of the day, at least you put your at least you put your best foot forward and you tried, you know. So that's another way that I see it. You know, when I call, I'm like this. I'll be like, good morning, my name's Ghost. You know, I'm from Still Hogging Logistics. I'm calling to give you guys a little insight on my company. I'm a freight agent for, you know, Still Hogging Logistics. We're based out of Pomona, California. We've been in business for about 10 years now. And, you know, you got to emphasize. You got to, you know, put a little on it to make it sound like, you know, you got to sell yourself. If you can't sell yourself, ain't nobody going to want to work with you. And then most of the time, a shipper's response, especially right now with COVID going on, is, oh, I already have somebody that's shipping for me. So, you know, you got to be quick on your feet. You got to have a quick response. You got to be like, okay, well, how do you like their customer service? How do you like their ability to make your freight, deliver your freight on time? How their pickup times, delivery, and if they decide to talk to you, you know, then they'll hold a conversation with you. And then,
What's that?
What the heck was that? That was a bell pepper.
A bell pepper?
I think. Or no, that might have been an olive. It was something nasty.
It was green.
It was something nasty.
You want another one?
No, I'll pass. But, you know, you gotta be quick on your feet. I was a pea. You gotta be quick on your feet when it comes to your responses. You gotta be able to basically have a response and, you know, have a comeback for if they decide to shoot you down. And then, I mean, they might even get frustrated and hang up on you. But all in all, you got to be able to sell yourself. That's the biggest thing. Being able to sell yourself and sell your company. The more you are what's the word that I'm looking for?
I'm not listening to you.
The more you practice, the more confident you are in your approach, the easier it becomes and the smoother it is to, you know, get your point across. And then if you decide to go knock on doors, it's the same way. You know, you got to just get out there, knock on doors, and you can't be afraid to get rejected or get turned down. It's going to happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. But, you know, you just got to keep on pushing. And sooner or later, you'll be able to get, you know, some pretty decent shippers behind your belt. When it comes to going after the large corporations, those are a little bit more complicated. A lot of them deal with mostly emails and stuff like that. But I mean, if you trace out like a lane, like say for instance, we'll say California, you want to run stuff to California or out of California. So what you do is, which I'm gonna explain this in more depth in the next video, where I'm gonna actually show y'all a couple websites and a couple like tools that I use to look for shippers in areas. So you basically will say you want freight that comes out of California. So what you'll do is, we'll say Southern California area. So you look at Southern California area like LA County, San Bernardino County, and then you just go through the list of shippers that are in that area, and you just click on them, and it'll give you all the company's info. It'll give you their website, their phone numbers, and you just basically just start calling. For East Coast companies, it's better to start at like 5:30 in the morning because it's like 8:30. If you're on the West Coast, then 5:30 a.m. is like your basically time to, you know, start cold calling, because the East Coast shippers, they're up at 7-8 o'clock, and it's like 3 hours different. So if you're in Cali, you might want to wait till about between 6 and 8 to start calling them, because, you know, it's California, well, it's West Coast, people still sleep and whatnot, people just getting into work. So, you know, you really got to map it out. You got to look at hours of operation. Like, there's a lot of research that you have to actually do yourself before you initially decide to make your phone calls. But having a good pickup line or having a good cold calling script can help you out. I wouldn't say that cold calling scripts are 100% and they work every single time, because you kind of got to critique it and make it your own thing. And like I said, if you can practice with somebody, practice with them. I practice with my old lady all the time, trying to hit on her. You know, I look at it as I'm trying to sell you a service, which really I'm trying to sell you something else, but but anyways, yeah.
I'm being nasty.
I ain't being nasty. I'm just speaking the truth. So yeah, it's your boy Ghost, and you know, love, peace, prosperity, and I will catch y'all in part 2, where we actually get into the meat and potatoes on how to actually look for shippers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.